prevent the virus from spreading. Medical reporter Sophie Scott has the story.
The latest results of the Oxford University and AstraZeneca vaccine show it could be up to 90% effective, and one of those soon to be rolled out here.
The news from overseas means that we are on track for first vaccines in March. That will obviously start with the health workers.
All Australians who want a jab would be offered a voluntary free vaccine during 2021.
It's likely that different vaccines will be used in different circumstances.
Australia could have several to choose from. Researchers showed when people were first given a half dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine, followed by a full dose, it was 90% effective. That's very similar to the Pfizer vaccine and Moderna vaccine. But those need to be kept at very low temperatures, including during transport, while AstraZeneca's can be kept in a regular fridge.
Another key difference is the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccines, their price points were sort of around that $40 to $60 per person, whereas this AstraZeneca vaccine looks like it's probably more like $6 to $7 per person.
Effective vaccines would see the world on a pathway back to normal.
There is now real hope that vaccines, in combination with other tried and tested public health measures, will help to end the pandemic.
Greater immunity would reopen overseas travel, but Qantas CEO Alan Joyce said passengers wouldn't be allowed on their international flights without a vaccine.
There are examples in public health of governments asking for vaccines prior to entering the country, but it's unusual to see this with an airline itself.
Regulators still need to take a good look at the science underpinning the vaccines before agreeing to roll them out. Sophie Scott, ABC News.
The head of Federal Parliament's Powerful Intelligence Committee has revealed he first heard rumours of Australian misconduct in Afghanistan before he deployed there with the SAS. Liberal MP Andrew Hastie has told the ABC his elite regiment was dragged down by a small number of toxic personalities. Here's Defence correspondent Andrew Green.
Above the capital, Australia's newest warplanes provide a picture of raw power, marking the formal command handover for Defence's next Chief of Joint Operations, while those who served in this country's last conflict reflect on its legacy.
We sent guys back over and over and over again, and frankly, we shouldn't be surprised that the dark energy of war took its toll on people.
Towards the end of the war, Andrew Hastie deployed to Afghanistan as a member of the elite SAS regiment. Before arriving, the now Liberal MP said he'd heard whispers of alleged war crimes.
There had been rumours for some time, and I wanted to make very clear what my expectations were, and I was ably supported by my non-commissioned officers.
Revelations of at least 39 unlawful killings by Australian Special Forces, detailed in last week's damning Brereton report, are causing deep anguish.
We know that the report has caused distress in our veteran community, and it's really good to see that people are reaching out.
The RSL's national president warns his organisation is even receiving disturbing reports from Defence families.
A child whose father was killed in Afghanistan being teased or bullied at school on the basis that it was just as well his father was killed because he was a murderer.
Defence's decision to revoke the meritorious unit citation for members of Australia's Special Operations Task Group is meeting fierce resistance from veterans.
That shouldn't be withdrawn because of the actions of a very small number of those troops.
Last week's landmark Brereton report has delivered a powerful reckoning for the Defence Force, particularly for elite soldiers. But the findings have also hurt the wider veterans community. And now there's a determination to make sure Australia's longest war doesn't have any more unintended victims. Andrew Green, ABC News, Canberra.
And if you're a veteran or serving member and you and your family need help, you can call the organisation Open Arms on 1800 011 046. Prosecutors in Qatar have laid charges against police who ordered female passengers undergo invasive examinations to find the mother of a baby found at Doha Airport. More than a dozen Australian women were caught up in the extraordinary incident last month, which sparked international outrage. Here's political reporter Jane Norman.
Moments after this newborn baby was found abandoned in an airport bathroom, Qatari officials went on the hunt for the mother.
She asked me to drop my trousers and that she would need to do an internal examination.
Women marched off planes, some forced to undergo invasive searches to determine if they'd recently given birth.
I find I'm getting more outraged every day now.
More than 50 days have since passed, and it appears the legal reckoning has finally begun. Qatari prosecutors confirming police officers who ordered the examinations broke the law. A number of them have now been charged and face penalties of a maximum of 3 years in jail.
Australian citizens were violated. It was shameful, it was disgusting, and it was deeply concerning.
Qatar's Prime Minister offered a sincere apology after the story broke, but that's not enough for the 12 Australians involved.
Given what the women have been going through, I think everybody agrees that they deserve an individual apology.
As well as an apology, there's talk of a compensation claim, even possibly a class action. The Australian government has described the incident as grossly inappropriate and offensive. While acknowledging the fact that some charges have now been laid, it's still demanding a comprehensive report from Qatari authorities and an update on the measures being taken to ensure this never happens again.
The women are rightly so concerned that no one else has to go through that experience again.
The baby at the centre of this scandal remains in the care of Qatari authorities. Her mother fled the country. She's been identified only as being of Asian nationality. If she ever returns, she could face up to 15 years in prison. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.
Uber Eats has acknowledged the food delivery